Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Valley Views, Season 3, Episode 22. And this is your host, Amanda Joy Christensen, bringing you a fantastic interview episode today from the most fabulous city here in the world, Las Vegas. If you're new to Valley Views, let me take a moment and share that I am the host, writer, and owner of Valley Views podcast. It is a storytelling focused podcast that is published on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and iHeart Music, along with YouTube. My main goals of Valley Views is to profile stories, different viewpoints, and bring to life a special idea around family, hospitality, or Las Vegas. With that being said, I also want to make sure that this is a platform and a place for anyone to come and feel comfortable bringing a new viewpoint to someone listening. I hope to share a story, save a life, change a viewpoint, and create a community of continuous, authentic people working to make the world, but specifically Las Vegas, a safer, better, and brighter place to live. Below in this interview series is the questions that I send to help my guests better share their story. This week, I am profiling CEO and owner of PCK Travel, Jason Kuntzelman, who is the founding partner along with his partner in their very first vertical and business, PCK Travel. He has over 20 years of experience across hospitality, ticketing, operations, and guest experience, with focusing on creating memorable moments for people at all scales. Previously, he worked as a director and later a COO for a company that many of you would know, but sells tickets to major shows in Las Vegas. Through his experience, he decided to build something that blends travel, lifestyle, and curated experiences into one platform, which has now basically become PCK Travel. He has successfully, as well, produced and released several music projects and is someone that I had the enjoyable pleasure of meeting at Boomerang. If you want to take a moment and just dial in this story about Jason and his founding idea of his business is definitely one to listen to. Before I jump into the rest of the interview, I just want to share some updates here on Valley Views. This month, I was profiled as one of the top 10 women, self-made women to watch within the country here on MSN. It was a story that gave me an opportunity to continue to highlight the personal successes that I have had in the hospitality industry for the last 20 years, including highlighting the success and award of the 2019 Customer Service Award from the LVCVA and continuing to recognize the 2 year in a row seventh place placement of Entrepreneur of Impact. When I started Valley Views, it was in one of my hardest seasons where showing my face on camera was not something I even thought about. But I did it to find my voice. I did it to heal, and I did it to create a real space where real, authentic people who run the city can come and showcase their impact. It's meant to be an educational tool as well as something for entrepreneurs who want to begin or learn about Las Vegas and maybe have zero idea on how to become someone within the networking groups, how to join in or start your own business, or how to just connect with the right people who see you as a colleague rather than competition. So, without further ado, I am so excited to continue this interview episode about Jason. When I met him at Boomerang, we honestly spent about 20 minutes just talking about our previous roles. And the biggest reason I connected with him was because of his background in the ticketing and music world. And much of what he did overlapped with the idea of like what I envisioned my life to be or at one point wanted to do. And we talked a lot about the higher up you get in companies, the more you have to put your dreams on hold. And sometimes through stepping back and taking the successful skills that made other people's companies money and applying that to our own entrepreneurial journeys, we can birth real brands that bring something more, something personal. And he had such a heart and such a passion about it that let me let me keep going. If you'd like to connect with Jason, you can find his company. His website is pcktravel.com. His Instagram is at PCK Travel, Facebook as well, PCK Travel, and TikTok, YouTube, X at PCK Travel. He's got everything covered. He's originally from Southern California, around the New Point and Laguna area. And his most memorable moments is just remembering growing up in a city that had an appreciation for lifestyle, travel, and personal experiences. He said, "There's something special about the coastal energy and movement that has just stayed with me." Las Vegas later became another key chapter, both professionally and creatively. Vegas is a special and unique market. When designing PCK Travel, we decided to position it as a Vegas based and Vegas inspired brand. If you check out his website, it's really exciting. The neon aqua blue in the logo comes from the City of Lights, and the feather is a nod to his background in the entertainment and ticketing industry. With his background in entertainment, hospitality, and ticketing, his experience across multiple operations, partnerships, and guest experiences have really allowed him to have a wide scope of understanding. He's worked in environments where volume, revenue, and customer experience all intersect. So he has built a system in his company that both supports the scale, but the personalization as well. One of the questions I asked is, "What is the story that led you to find the podcast?" And he said, "Honestly, it's been a mix of experience and timing. After years in the industry, I now see gaps in how travel is presented and sold." He said, "It's become too transactional and there's not enough focus on how to create the experience." PCK Travel has come from wanting to create something more curated, more intentional, and have a connection. He said that is what I believe is becoming increasingly more important in business. I met Valley View's Amanda when we attended a networking event together, and it just resonated with the idea that what she's curating aligned with the brand. What is your personal take on hospitality in the world, even if you've never been to Vegas? And obviously, Jason has been here, worked here. He said, "Hospitality at its best is about how people feel, not just what they receive." One thing I've consistently seen across cities, but especially in Las Vegas, is that the people, uh-oh, sorry, is that the people, I, I, I went a little too quick spinning. Especially in Las Vegas, is that people remember the moment, not necessarily the price that they paid. So there has to be a balance between value and worth. That insight carries into the travel experience. The best ones are the ones that feel elevated, personal, and completely and a little unexpected. As for travel stories, I have quite a few, including one this one night in Paris. That's all he said. What is your valley view, Jason, or special voice or story that you'd like me to share? This can be as little or as big as you want. He said that I believe we're moving away from transactional culture to experiences. People don't just want a hotel or a flight anymore. They want something that feels curated, like it was designed personally for them. And that's where I think travel, hospitality, and even media are heading. In Vegas, one thing I've learned working in ticketing and across entertainment is that people want guidance. They want your advice on where to go and what to do and what's fun, what's reasonable, and what is going to be worth it. Oh my God, I have chills because yes, it's true. People want to come to Vegas and they want to know the tips, but they maybe don't want to know what all the influencers are doing because there's a thousand other things that could be curated to what their taste is. He said, More importantly, he said, as an operator, he just wants to make sure that the group in front of him is happy and that he is giving something that makes sense to them. People will always remember the amazing show you recommended them far more beyond the price of the admission. I want to bring the same mindset to PCK travel, blending an experience and a value. I like to always include the question about family. And as I always share, in hospitality, family looks different because a lot of times when you dedicate your life to the industry, some people's family aren't the most traditional. And I say that in a way where even in my own life, there was a pretty long stretch of time where I just figured I'd never have kids just because it wasn't in the cards to work into being successful. Jason shared that he has a partner and a really close circle of friends who have been the most important part of his journey. He said that as things grow, he said that building his business and his life have become more important. His family also includes two adorable kittens, Dua and Lipa, and we have a senior cat, Janet, but unfortunately, Jackson passed away. I put my kitty, she passed away after 13 years. She just passed in December, so I'm sorry. A lot of times it's fun to ask about family too, because like in my last episode, I shared Jackal. He's someone who is a DJ who's producing music all over the world with people of all genres, creating a family of network of music. Sometimes family can be the people closest to us that just help us succeed in our journey. And as someone who's still very limited on that close circle of friends, every time I record an episode about an entrepreneur and I hear their viewpoint on how business should and what it could be when it's personal versus transactional, that's what I'm doing here on Valley Views too. I'm creating something special and memorializing personal stories about business milestones, about networking mixers, and about people who at one point worked for someone else and they just decided to give it their all and jump in and just live their dream. And when I met Jason, his excitement about what he's doing with PCK travel and the personalized experiences that he wants to create for people visiting Vegas, it's beyond that too. Envisions his company growing in a way where he could personally experience and plan a trip for you in international countries abroad. It's not just come to Vegas. His vision of travel is global and really getting to know each person to curate a one-of-a-kind experience and allowing you, like he said, to remember the moment. He's creating family memories for people, um, just by giving them their gift of what they want when they come. He tends to see what is something creative about life that has allowed you to be truly unique. This is one of my favorite questions because people always, let me pause. People ask me sometimes, Amanda, why don't you interview people on your show? And when I started my show, it was really not intended to interview, but more to storytell. And I have found that I've been able to share more people's stories by just giving someone an essay question to reflect on themselves. And I think as adults, we spend so much time reflecting on the things we do wrong that sometimes answering a question at a stage in life, what's something special about your life that's made you truly unique? When you sit there and you write it, you also get to memorialize and feel the success because it was the pain and the tribulations and the challenges that got you there. So Jason shared that he's tend to see that the creative vision and the operational reality can be seen at the same time. He has seen many people that live in one side or the other, either creative brain or operational brain. But I spent years learning how to balance both, which is what allows me to build something like PCK from the ground up. One thing I do love too is creating music and conceptualizing stories. But I also like diving into the operation to gain a better understanding of how all the different pieces work together. His advice for someone launching a business, as he already has, is if you're starting something, just start. You can sit and plan forever, but at some point, you need real feedback from the market. Also, don't underestimate how long things can take. What looks like an overnight success is usually years in the making. While it can be challenging, I remind myself every day of the importance of staying patient and trusting the process. Do you want to share a viewpoint on a very challenging obstacle that you had to overcome? And Jason shared, in my opinion, two of the biggest challenges many of us face today are uncertainty and trust. AI has had a ambiguous, rapid expansion as well. Ubiquitous, not ambiguous. Rapid expansion into everyday life and how businesses operate. So we're still in some very early stages, similar to what happened when the internet first launched. But I think that we can all foresee a time when AI scouts rates, organize travel plans, and even coordinates with your friend AI. Have your AI call mine. On a personal level, one of the biggest challenges I continue to face is understanding that building something new comes with no guarantees. There's actually no roadmap or guide. You basically just have to move forward without knowing exactly how it will play out. And that requires a different mindset than working with an established company. It takes three things: patience, confidence, and faith. I think storytelling and podcasting have now evolved into a more influential form of media, which is now both powerful and at times concerning. The lines between journalism, entertainment, and opinion have truly blurred, challenging traditional standards of current credibility. More and more people treat what they hear or see on social platforms as research, even when it comes from entertainment-driven sources rather than verified ones. At the same time, I notice that attention spans have decreased significantly and often reduced to 15-20 second engagement windows. However, people are also connecting more authentically over polish. The shift is meaningful, and I believe we will continue to see things expand with storytelling, even with the influence of AI. Do you follow or watch any other online platforms? And I'd like to ask this because sometimes when you're a creative person, there's tools that you use that not everyone uses. But since launching his business, I spend more time on social media than I ever would have liked. I now follow a mix of travel content creators, business strategies across platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And I pay attention to how people engage, not just what they post. Interestingly enough, I think we've almost evolved into a society that focuses heavily on social metrics like likes, comments, and shares, which have become completely and extremely deceptive. In my opinion, the more successful creators have leaned into authenticity, values, and creativity, which is what we like to expand our brand through. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. What is one thing? Thank you for saying that because, when I started this too, I want it to be an educational tool for people in hospitality. The number one thing I hated about the post 2020 Las Vegas world is paid influencers in my city are not industry professionals. They're not people who spent 20 to 30 years working in it. Okay. They're people who paid to build a following. And then once their following got big enough, they kept getting paid to make content, even if it was not credible. What is one thing, Jason, you wish you could tell your younger self now as an adult? Trust the timing and don't rush things. Some opportunities make sense later and not sooner, and that's okay. I'm almost at the end of the interview, and I'm really, really just grateful for all of this because it really helped me feel that sometimes the things like likes and views and comments and shares, it doesn't mean people don't see what you're doing, but sometimes that doesn't value or equate success. This is my open area topic. Please add any additional information you'd like me to provide that will help elevate your story. Thank you again for supporting Valley Views. He said, my partner and I have recently launched PCK Travel, lighting up your destination. Their website is so cute. It's like this bright blue neon, and it's kind of cool because peacock feather is in his design, and I have a peacock feather tattoo. It's like a faith thing. And when Jason and I met, I think just the connection over the peacock feathers were was like enough to be like, okay, we're besties. But PCK Travel is a membership-based travel platform with benefits and savings on hotels, flights, car rentals, cruises, activities, and everyday retail and dining. See, I told you it's more than just Las Vegas. The site has now launched with over 40 crafted destination pages featuring editorial content for popular destinations with places to stay, dine, activities, areas of interest, and travel tips. We also offer travel accessories and merchandise. Since the launch, we've introduced complimentary access options and a limited 30-day membership designed to help people experience the platform firsthand, including a thank you travel certificate option that is tied to a complimentary or paid membership. It has been a great way for travelers to explore the platform and begin to see the value before making a long-term travel decision. As PCK travel expands, our focus is shifting towards curating experiences, expanding destination content, more useful editorial content, and hosted travel. The idea is to move beyond just booking traditional trips and into something more immersive, where people feel like they're part of something and not just purchasing something. We have the goal of lighting up destinations by providing value, service, and aspirational travel. Please, 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 everyone take some time. I'm on the website right now, PCK Travel, lighting up your destination. It says access, exclusive travel rates, and curated experiences not available to the public. Everything from memberships to destinations, summer travel, family favorites, Hawaiian Islands, spa and wellness retreats, LGBTQ friendly vacations, romantic escapes, beach escapes, and international. It's really fun to watch other people chase their dreams. It's really fun to watch somebody say, hey, I had this idea in my mind and my heart, and I'm going to take the leap of faith and I'm going to make it happen. In a city like Las Vegas, where the majority of people's opinions are driven by prepaid advertisements or skewed media targeted audience clips, humanity in my show is what made it hit 63 global countries last month. The authenticity of conversations that I bring that are unscripted are now beyond just the USA. So every time I elevate someone's brand, it's not just for our local Las Vegas community. And honestly, if I produced this episode back in April, I don't even think as many countries would have had the opportunity at that time to have access and hear about Jason's wonderful company. So as every episode continues to go out, there's this new feature on Spotify that shows me, it doesn't show me my listeners, okay? I don't know who listens to my podcast unless you tell me, but it shows me now how many people are new listeners and how many people are repeat. And to the repeat people, thank you. And to the new people, thank you. And to people like Jason, who actually took the time to say, wow, you're a hospitality professional who's using a platform to create an educational and informational, authentic tool, is the point. And every time I get to elevate someone else's story, it helps me just feel like I'm proud to call Las Vegas home. Even if I don't look like everyone else and I'm my own version of me, building my own brand and my own dream, I can completely relate. I don't know how long Valley Views will go, and I don't know how successful it will be because there is no roadmap. But the stories that I get to tell and the legacies that I get to preserve and the published series of my life is one that can't be deleted anymore or removed. And it's so wonderful to feel real in a world that is based on artificial things like prepaid media ads and prepaid likes and follows. When someone authentically sees at the core that what I'm doing is to elevate and encapsulate the real people like Jason, who spent decades working for the man, making the man money, who's now chasing his dream to be his own man and CEO. Those are the people that I love showcasing here, not the artificial ones. Guys, tonight the Golden Knights go back for game 6. I have no idea what's going to happen. I will maybe record another episode this week on it. My hockey episode got over 45 streams. It's the most listened to episode. I never knew people cared that much if I talked about hockey, but maybe it was my Golden Knights bobblehead that really just, broke the internet. But hockey created family, hockey created legacy here, and we'll see what happens tonight when the Golden Knights take the ice. I'll catch you guys all on the next episode of Valley Views. Jason, thank you so much. And don't forget PCK Travel. Give them a follow and let them curate one of the most unique, personalized experiences for you based on your needs and not on a prepaid meta search. Bye.